Hey guys, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. And where we left off is we're looking for plywood. So we went to an art room, but we found a girl with no arms named Rin. So we left off here. Alright, as I walked to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is burnt, almost orange and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arm. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes with flicker restless from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect the sunlight at all, but instead absorbing all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see the sight could discomfort you, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabinets and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows into uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late? Or don't you get occasional visitor? Visitors. Maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, but she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh. And that's all I can think of. Both of us fall silently again as Rin works the last bit of her meal to her mouth. I look down on my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems that I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice of you. Don't be obliged to stay. I'm about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway. Oh God, I can't read. You need to do whatever you are going to do with that stuff, right? Or perhaps you like to watch the girls sleeping. I'm not sure what to make of it. Rin looks serious. Eventually, if I did, I think I had to be going. I'll catch you, Rin, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I already turned to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine, then I'm hiss out. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that's intimidating feeling you can get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just pops between us out of nowhere. See you later, Zal. There's there's something like a tiny smile that there in the face, maybe. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whispered to myself, "What an integrating person." From inside, I heard a muffled sing-song voice. I heard that. Whoa! Oh my god! Shit! You fucking scared me, Misha. I was really glad, and then you just popped out. Oh no! Oh god! Why are you so close to my face? What did she hear? I jumped at the sudden appearance of Misha, who has not heard approaching despite the complete hallway. Somehow she got to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy! Briefly remind me of Kenji's nutty theory about the global feminist conspiracy. But I pushed the aside. Shizune standing slightly behind Misha. She looks aloof as she continues that drew Misha's attention, but Misha's visibly excited. No, wait. More importantly, who is in there? There's no club meetings today. She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing any. What are you doing here? You took so long that we had to come and check what's wrong. That's no good, Hika-chan. She wags her finger at me scoldingly. I found the pilot, but everything else is still missing because you are tardy. Oh sorry. I got the things here. I was just going to bring them. I think you were up to some mischief, Hika-chan. Who was in there with you? I wonder. Well, Misha sighs something quickly to Shizune and point at her own ear at a couple times. No, Shizune, no! Shizune immediately pushed her way past me and opens the door into the classroom, and I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's delicatedness and attitude, and this indulgence of daring the face school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed, she stares at Ren, frozen in place as part of the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sigh fiercely at Misha. Oh, hey man, calm down. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand. She shots a very low stare at me too. So what the hell my fault that Rit is sleeping on one table? I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. Hello. Ren's voice comes from the other side of the door. It takes a few eye blinks to realize she might be in trouble opening it. The door to find directly behind it and look at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. Hello. Mr. Sam, what do you think you're doing? You obviously have not permit to use the school properties for such a disgraceful activity. It sure is suddenly very crowded in there. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whatever's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune's Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Red and makes some quick signs.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how is your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Ren looks at them blankly and apparently at ease under the pressure. Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
I keep wondering about that myself too. And I will think about it harder.
As Misha's eyes apply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the walls look like someone threw the lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively.
I will think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head and takes the materials from me and takes off with Misha and Ida. Rin frowned thoughtfully as she looked after the retreating student council.
How rude. It's true, I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be daring consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know. It's like the weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to an unforeseen future. I'm about to ask what the project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences? But she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, will you give me a hand? These paintings This painting doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it.
She kicks slowly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table. She was sitting and sleeping on it. It let out a dull clang. And being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it?
Away.
And with that, she takes off to the hallway. Me and the paint can follow since there is a little choice of either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha, so we lead towards the stairway at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I had to change the can from the one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching, but wait, or maybe I am walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of the stairs below, and trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Oh, you again. Ah, Mr. Naka. What a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Red, who does not who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who has some business with. There is something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait passively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle, the lifting deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this eruption either. It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I want is for you to keep an eye out on everything on your condition, and that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything, and come see me if something happens. Alright. So how are you? Everything fine? I give him and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this is taking longer than my muscles can handle. I'm about to say something generical as an answer, but I realize how I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too, teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that it's naturally for the hospital, not so much for a school, except this school. This is a small school, and both the students based on the faculty seems to be very tightly skinned. At least that's feelings I'm getting, and this is not the kind of school that gets transferred students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I'm giving a gentle answer anyway. That's great. Also, one other thing. My sources say that you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you had taken up exercises as I asked. Of course I haven't, but this way of requiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day. You have people spying on me? Not such. I just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here, so don't try to slip out of it. Well, I was actually just doing some impersonal weightlifting as exercise. Pick up the lid of the can up and down a few times, so like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it weighs down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin appeared from his face for a second, then goes back like it was never gone. Asuka, will you give us a second? Well, hey! The nurse grabbed me by my shoulder without waiting for Ren's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still on the first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance here of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip in the postpone, the harder it will be. The same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, I promise, definitely. He studied me for a moment and then shrugged and smiled. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy. We'll probably have no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation. See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and walks to Rin, who had been waiting, actively learn against the hallway wall. And stare at the pale light fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medication for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes so more accusatory that I intend to accidentally lash out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about the confrontation too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I looked up to her and suddenly feel a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically. Her head tilts like birds. Sigh. I don't know why this is so hard for me. I feel like there's some inexplicable thought that prevents me from being in front about this. Yeah, they're for my heart. Will they make you feel better? No, not you. You just make me a little less worse. Friend keeps looking at me for a while longer, and then neither say anything further, nor displays any kind of emotional I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I'm thinking I'm still not quite used to all this. I thought it was easy, but I still haven't sort my feelings about having to live a normal life with this. We leave the main building and Rin leads us onward towards the dorm. We stopped at the small patch of greenery on the front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall of field of trees that everyone has circled around every time they come or go. It's probably the only convented design school. The entire wall is made